Okay, today we're going to discuss my September wrap up. Let's take a look. I read 10 books in September. September's been a really weird, long, crazy month. But I started it off reading Exodus by Kate Stewart, which is the second in the Ravenhood trilogy series. I'm not sure. What a wild ride. I don't really know what to say about it. It was a whirlwind, okay? I don't love the I don't love the instant attraction between Cecilia, that's her name, and Tobias. I thought that that was a little far fetched and also played into the idea that she kept rejecting all of the first and second book, that she was just sex obsessed. I don't know. I I am a dominant girl and I missed him and I kind of missed Sean too. Um I will say there was a lot of back and forth, like a lot of waffling between decision making, conversations, just very confusing. I am really sad about a certain thing that happens in this book that I won't say. I'm sure you know, but I won't say. But I am happy that we got to see more of certain characters, but I'm sad that we didn't get more of the relationship that Cecilia had with them. And I'm glad that Tobias finally gave some answers. It took him long enough, but I gave that book 3 stars. Then I read Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. This is a sapphic soccer romance that I thought I would love. I had high expectations and I was right. I liked it a lot. I felt like the ADHD and autism rep were well done in the couple, and I don't know what it is. I think because I'm pretty sure I have ADHD and my partner has autism. Anytime there's a couple with those in a book, I'm gonna eat it up. But mm, I did feel like the third act conflict was a little bit much, a little far fetched. So if you are sensitive to third act breakups, just know that there's a conflict in this one. I did like the friendship in this between the two main characters, but there were at times some like hero idolization. Yeah, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Like if you are a fan of somebody growing up and then start dating them, but you still have the like fan mentality when you become friends with them, it's just a little bit weird for me. But overall, I liked the main characters together. I liked the story. It was cute. I gave it 4 stars. And then I read Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This wasn't my favorite Elsie Silver, but it also wasn't my least favorite Elsie Silver. Um, I loved Ford and Rosie. I thought they were really sweet and cute, and Second Chance is always a fun time. I also love the single parent trope and the best friend's little sister or brother's best friend trope. I love those both so much. And the third act conflict in this one was even worse than in Cleat Cute. This one felt so forced, so dramatic, and just a bit much. I thought until that point their communication was really good and it was like a very healthy relationship, but then we get to that part and it was kind of just like, oh, conflict for conflict, and it just seemed a little bit silly to me. But I still gave it 4 stars because even with that, it was still a really good book and a great first installment to a new series. And I'm very excited for Wild Eyes. I just don't want to read it because I won't have anything to read from Elsie. And then next, I read Business Casual by BK Borison. This is the, I think, last installment of the Lovelight Farm series. And it was okay. Nothing really all that great. I thought it was cute. I really liked Charlie. I liked Nova. I liked them together. I liked their friendship, their romance. All of it was cute. It was just very insta love for me, and I'm not a big fan of insta love. I know that they were friends before we get to this book, but it seemed and felt like we relied so heavily on that we really didn't build much more of a foundation than, oh, we see each other at a wedding and we're into each other kind of thing. And their friendship does grow, their relationship does grow throughout the book, but that just really bothered me, I think, at the beginning, that I couldn't get past it. But yeah, I gave this 3 stars. I loved the tattoo shop, and I liked the text message element that was added to it as well. But yeah, 3 stars, it was good. And then I read The Counselors by Jessica Goodman. I think my Goodreads review summed this up perfectly. I wanted a slasher and got tax evasion. Um, yeah, I. Mm, what do I say about this? The adults in Goldie's life kind of suck. All of them. Her parents, the other adult counselors, her boyfriend's dad, and the camp owners. All of them terrible people. Don't like them. Not terrible people. They just don't make the best choices regarding her. And I didn't love that because they put things above her, and it was just not my favorite. I do feel like this book did a very very good job of depicting female friendships, especially from a young age, and like the insecurities you can have from developing a friendship when you're like 7, 8, 9 years old and then growing into adulthood. I feel like those insecurities were very well done. And I also thought her boyfriend was a jerk. So 3 stars. I then read Carvel by Stephanie Garber. This was so fun. I really loved this world. I felt very immersed in it. I felt like I was participating and trying to figure things out with Scarlett as we went along. I'm kind of mad at Donatella right now and feel very much for Scarlett, but I'm also very intrigued to see what Donatella has gotten herself into and what we figure out in the next book. The ending felt like there could be so many possibilities for the rest of this series, so I'm so excited to continue. I think it's going to be such a good time. And yeah, I'm very pleased with that. I was not sure if I would like it or not, but I really enjoyed it and I gave it 4 stars. And then, oh boy, I'm talking about it. Then I read Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. I would like to preface this with, I love Elle Kennedy. I love her. I have read almost all of her hockey romance books. I DNF'd Good Girl Complex because of the tropes. And honestly, I probably should have DNF'd Girl Abroad too, but I didn't. But maybe her non hockey romances are just not for me. Maybe, but I'm still going to give them a shot. But yeah, I wanted so badly to love this. I really thought that I would, but love triangles have to be done a very, very specific way, or I'm not going to like them. especially if you add in a man who's already in a relationship. That I can't get behind it. Um I liked Jack at the beginning, and that kind of carried on throughout the entire novel. So I think it's really silly that our other option was Nate. What the heck? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Um, Nate was very surface level and only really wanted her when she didn't want him or when he couldn't have her. And that didn't sit well with me, especially while Jack is like very mature about his feelings and she is very torn. Does she want the surface level or does she want the actual mature person? But whatever. She also seemed very insanely obsessed with her father. I get it. Cool, rock star dad, great, but it was just constant. Constantly looking for his approval, constantly telling his stories, constantly comparing herself to him, just constant, okay? And then she's also obsessed with a mystery that was kind of just like not very, it could have been cut down quite a bit, really. Like it was kind of entertaining to learn about, but not enough to be in the story as much as it was. Yeah, some of the conversation surrounding the mystery could have been cut out. This, if you couldn't tell, I gave 1 star. I'm so sorry, Elle. I love you. Um, then I read Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. This book. So we finally learned why BJ did what he did to Magnolia. And I will never say that cheating is good or the right option, but I understand more now why he did. There was so much toxic behavior in this book, which I'm not like surprised by because they are a very toxic couple. They just don't know how to communicate their feelings and love for each other very well. But I'm also kind of glad that we got the toxicity. It was fun. I feel like it also prompted a lot of their growth. Like things would happen and it would kind of force them into communicating, which we love. I did like that we got to see more of Julian in this book. He's always a fun character to follow. I understand why he did what he did, but I'm still mad about it. And that's all I'm going to say. And so much happens in this book, and I feel so much love and heartbreak and all the things for all of the characters. And I just want everyone to be okay and everything to be fine, and for what I think is going to actually be true to not be true. But yeah, we left off on some pretty big cliffhangers, like a few. And I'm so excited for the next book. I love Daisy and Christian's story, and I'm very interested to see how this one would be told through Daisy's perspective. It'll be a fun time. But anyway, I gave this book 5 stars. It was absolutely amazing. And then I read Garlic and the Vampire. This is a very cute graphic novel. I loved the art style and the colors that were chosen. The message was sweet. Like you can be scared of something but also conquer your fears at the same time. And also what you're scared of could be a really good thing. And I gave that 4 stars. I think the only thing that I felt was missing was just a little bit more of a story, like more plot, I guess. It's just about Garlic, who's elected to go to this vampire's house to tell him to get out of town. And that's it. And I wish we could have seen more of the vampire because that was really precious. Whenever we get their confrontation scene, it was just so cute. But yeah, I gave it 4 stars. And then lastly, I read Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett. This was very interesting. um, it was super cute. Don't get me wrong. I thought the premise was a little different, a little interesting. We follow Birdie, who's obsessed with mysteries. And it was really funny because one of the mystery shows that I used to watch with my grandma and one of my friends in college was mentioned, but it's like very not very known show at all. It's Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries. Love that show. Um, but yeah, it was very cool to see that in the book. Yeah, she's obsessed with mysteries and she makes profiles for people in her head. She has narcolepsy. She has a bunch of things going on. It's a book about grief and relationships and finding yourself, and it's really cute. It's really well done. I will say though, the suspect profiles that she would do, like the ones that are in her head, but she would be like, if I were to write a profile on so and so, it would be this. Those got a little annoying. Also, for this one, the third act conflict was just a little bit much. I thought it was very far fetched. I think that I felt like she would have been more understanding for the main guy, and he was dealing with a lot when she discovers this thing, and it just I felt like she would have given him a little bit of room, a little bit of grace, and she didn't. But totally fine. I still gave it 4 stars. I still really liked it. Um, I feel a lot for Birdie because she's lost quite a few people. Um, and I really feel for her. And it was kind of difficult to read it myself just because I've lost quite a few people. But I think her handling her grief was pretty well done. But yes, that is what I read in September, all 10 books. I would say it was a fairly good reading month. 3 3 stars, 1 1 star, 5 4 stars, and one 5 star. That's crazy. Okay. But it was very much a range. And I'm so happy that I read those books because I think I learned something from each of them. And not that you have to learn something from each of the books you read, but I feel like I did. Or at least, even if nothing in my personal life, I learned what I really don't like in books, which was very good. But yes, if you enjoyed, please give this video a like and subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. I'm reading some very fun things in the month of October. So stick around if you'd love to see that. Bye.